So today I want to talk about the today we want to actually have a look at the markets and actually see if we can spot opportunities to trade from. Okay. I think I'll just focus on one for now. Just so you guys, because there's one thing I want to cover and I don't want to make this video too long. So if you look over here, okay, in our last video we spoke about the higher highs, the lower lows. Okay. And if you look over here, this is a clear example of a bull trend that has occurred, and now we're in a bear trend that is busy occurring. So this is the perfect entry actually for a sell. Okay, so um, if you look at our, if you look at, these lines over here, we've actually got this point over here, and then we've got a higher high, a higher low, and then the market takes off. So once you had the higher low, okay, that was our indication that we need to look for a lower high to enter this buy over here. And similarly, we've got a higher high, a lower low. Okay, so once you've got that first lower low, because remember this was all higher lows, lower low. So once you've got this higher high, lower low, and we've got a lower high, this lower high gives us an indication that we need to sell over there. So this is on a 4 hour. If you look, let me just zoom in. Can you see that? So our indicators actually is telling us exactly the same thing. It's telling us that there's a sell happening over there, but it's also warning us that the market might continue to actually push higher. So now what do we do in this scenario where so you've downloaded the indicators, you love it, it's great, it's wonderful, we know. Um, and you see this area of resistance over here. You see this area of support over here, and right here is also an area of support. So can the market go higher? Most likely. What I'm expecting is the market's going to at least try and test this resistance and fail there, and then come down. Right? That's a possibility. But overall, the trend is actually a sell because we don't need to overcomplicate it. We've got our indication there. We've got one, two confirmations, three confirmations if you include the resistance. Okay, and if you zoom out, you can clearly see that there is a lower low that has actually formed. Okay, so ideally, this is where we want to get in. Boom for the sell. And we're expecting that the market will definitely at least move towards this target area over here. I mean, you've got a couple of target areas, okay, that so each one of these is the Fibonacci level for that specific time frame. Okay, so each one of these blue lines that you see actually represent that. All the green lines and this one over here, this aqua line, also represents support. The orange and the red represent resistance. Okay, so that's how I've actually set it up. These blue lines over here, these are news events, okay, that are upcoming. So the reason we may be even seeing this type of behavior, with it's almost as if the market's currently indecisive, and the reason we might say that is because of the unemployment change. So if I hover my mouth here, I can see there's an unemployment change going to occur, and there's the inflation expectations, and I mean I can go on, and I can actually see what other news events are happening, or I can just have a look over here. So Bank of England interest rate decision. So quite a lot of events that are coming out, but mainly focused here. You can definitely see that there is a potential opportunity for the sell. However, because we have an area of support, we might see the market test this level of resistance and then come crashing down much lower. So that's what we expect looking at the markets, and I actually want to take you guys to a trade I spotted, or something I spotted yesterday. Okay, so if I look at JP 225, right, and if I can zoom in here, oh, okay. So if I look here, right, I can see that every single one here made sense. So we've got, once I said buy here, okay, yes, the market came down, hit support, but ultimately it went up. Here you can see that it gave this indication and price came down. Okay, here we can see price did in fact go up. Here we can see that price indeed came down. Okay, here we can see price indeed went up. Here we can see price indeed went down. So if we look at the bull and bear volume indicator, we can clearly see how powerful these indicators are, okay, because they're informing us the direction that the market is mainly pushing towards next, okay, which gives us a clear direction, a clear understanding of how we need to be analyzing this market, which direction we should be focused on, okay. And these ones over here, these are confirmations for our entries, okay. So this shows us the trend, you understand, um the main direction that the market is pushing. This just shows us possible retracements, possible reversals, because normally what I found with indicators is that they don't normally display things like this. They don't um, mark they mark support and resistance levels, sure, but they can sometimes be confusing, okay, because they're not really showing me the main areas that I should be focused on the chart. So the way these support and resistance levels are behaving is they're looking at those areas that have been tested multiple times on the market and marking those as support and resistance areas. The way um, the target levels, okay, we are looking at the Fibonacci levels, okay, to help us determine where the market might potentially head towards. So I've explained this in my previous video when it came to understanding the markets. If you haven't watched it, I suggest you go and look at it so that you can understand in a very simple way how the market behaves, what you guys should be looking at, and things like that. So quite interesting. I just wanted to show you guys that. So this is the bull and bear string. How how powerful would this indicator not have been in helping you actually catch those sniper entries on the market? So they're not compatible like this one, JP 225 cash. It's completely compatible in catching trades on this particular one. So historically, you'll just need to go back and actually check, is it compatible. So these vertical lines here, they're actually automatically drawn on the chart. In my last video I did not activate them, but in this one I did. It just makes it much clearer for you to actually see where the entries are. So I think I'm going the wrong way. Okay, here we go. Perfect. So I want to actually catch a very clear movement. So if we look over here, it's telling us to buy. Well, I told us earlier on to buy, actually, right? And this is on a 1 hour. So it was a buy over here. over, yeah, over here. Okay, so we would have gotten in for the buy there. I mean, we're not too far along. So let's say we entered here. Um, Let me make it thinner so you guys can actually see. So it is showing us that there's a buy trade over there. Okay, so if we were to look at this in a couple hours time, we've got one, two confirmations, three confirmations, four confirmations, guys. Four confirmations that this trade is a buy. Do you understand? So we'll be able to trade this all the way up. We've even got the target area marked over here. Now, how do we know that the market's going to test that level? I mean, even if we were to draw our indicators, we can kind of see, okay, it's quite far. It has to test here. We can see that there's even resistance, strong resistance over here. So the market must test that resistance level, to some extent, and then come down. So that is what is so powerful about these indicators, is they make it so simple to actually spot opportunities that are occurring on the markets. And earlier on, I was mentioning the bull and bear string. Take a look at the entries that was given on the bull and bear volume indicator. Okay, it told you to buy over here. Okay, it's telling you to buy over here as well. It told you to sell over here. Okay, it told you to buy over here, told you to sell over here, told you to buy over here, told you to sell over here. Do you see how, do you see that those are sniper entries that could have been caught on the market? Trades that traders often want to catch but they miss. I mean, everybody wants to get in at the exact point when the market is turning around. And these indicators actually allows you to actually not only catch those trades and opportunities, but also allows you to visualize the trend changes for yourself. Okay, not only the changes but the long-term trend itself. So there's no need for a moving average or Bollinger Band or whatever indicators you guys are using. Okay, this makes it might seem like it is more confusing, okay, at first, but once you actually begin to use it, you'll understand that it actually makes your trading much simpler, because it's informing you of things that the eye of sometimes misses on the markets. So ultimately, I mean, I've been trading for maybe 12 years plus. I've read so many books on trading, watched so many videos on trading, traded for so long, worked for a broker for so long. Um, so I've really had a first-hand experience in the market in the early days before trading even became popular. Nobody, when I got into trading, nobody knew what trading was. I mean, people only knew about investing on the stock market. That's as much as they knew about about trading. So I've come quite a long way in when it comes to trading the markets. And I wanted to develop a system that would not only make it easier for my own analysis, but also easier for you guys, so that you can actually catch those opportunities on the markets. Because sometimes, for example, if I insert a moving average, let's say, right, okay, that is a bit unrealistic. uh, let's say 10-day moving average, um, and let's go with the 20-day moving average. Okay, if I look at this, the moving average would tell you to buy over here, right? And I mean, just look at that. It's precise. This indicator is precise in telling you to get in for a buy there and a sell there. Do you see that? And these are not calculated by any means. Like these candle changes, they're not calculated with moving averages at all. Okay. But look at how precise it is. It visually shows you what is happening with the chart, the behaviors, precisely. So you don't even need to draw up any of these indicators. Okay. I mean, I stopped using moving averages ever since I created the system. And I mean, it's even telling me the trend, like which is the main direction I should focus on. So seeing this, it's telling me that I should be buying, because I at least have 3. Okay. Well, I've got 5 over here that is confirming that we're in for a buy direction. So over here, look at that. We drew this mark earlier on, and we haven't even had the drawdown. We know, even looking at our moving averages, we know that this market is going to be heading up. We know exactly where it's going to test. Okay, we know it's either going to test over here, most likely, and however, resistance is sitting over here. So we might get a point between the resistance, between those points. Like this is where the market will most likely head towards. Okay, so our safest bet is over here, because sometimes support becomes a resistance. So our target level is over here. We know that this most likely can be our next resistance that actually forms. Okay, so I hope you guys found this video useful. I hope it clarifies with you guys that how powerful these indicators are, how useful they are in actually helping you spot opportunities. Because even looking at this, like look when the moving average would have told you to buy. Look when this indicator actually told you to buy. You understand? Look there. Like here the moving average told you buy. If you bought here, you would have been in trouble. You understand? You would have bought here, boom, market moves against you and you're losing. Whereas here it tells you to sell, boom, you're in profit. You understand? So it's showing you guys the opportunities that you guys are often missing. It's showing you where the sniper entries are. Because if I look even here, this would have been a perfect place to enter for a buy if you knew that it was an entry. This over here told you a bit too late. I mean, you could have entered here, instead you entered here, and you missed out on some profits. You understand? Look how precise this was. Boom. Look how precise this was. Boom. Look how precise this was. Boom. Telling you to buy. Okay. So, guys, download the indicators. It's only retailing for $30 at the moment. I think I'm going to stick it. I'm going to keep it at that price so that it's actually affordable for everybody. I don't want to raise the price. I'm going to leave it $30. Just so that you guys can actually all afford it. Low, middle class, higher income, doesn't matter. Like everybody should be able to afford $30, and invest it in something that's actually going to help them conquer the markets. And if you guys were wondering how I'm able to change time frames this quickly, it's thanks to my dashboard trade manager. Okay, the way I've developed this dashboard trade manager is in a way that it allows me to just use the arrow keys on my keyboard to navigate with. It allows me to navigate using my my left and right. I can navigate the time frames on the fly. So if you take a look in the top left corner, alright, you can look at the time frames easily with one button. Okay, and then it obviously refreshes. If let's say I place multiple buys over here, because clearly again our indicators is giving 1, 2, 3, 4 confirmations for a buy. Okay, it's showing us things that we would often sometimes miss on the markets. So if if I was to enter multiple trades over here, because let's say I buy there, enter multiple trades, maybe 5, whatever amount of positions, and I press close all, it's going to close all of my trades in profit. All of my trades, whether it's a profit or in a loss, it's going to close everything. But if I was to press close profit, it's only going to close those trades that are going into profit for me. And if I press close loss, it's only going to close those positions that are losing for me. And if I was, there's an option to cancel your take profit, cancel your stop loss as well. So you don't need to, sometimes you need to go out and go to navigator, and it's, I don't like having navigator up here. Like I like to have it hidden. So with this method, you can actually manage your entire trading without uh, in completely full screen, you know, without needing to concern yourself with things such as navigator whatsoever. I mean, with terminal whatsoever, right? So it eliminates that, and you can view all your trades over here. So it eliminates the need for terminal, because terminal only takes up like a small space, over here, but you can't view everything. Whereas in this case, having the full screen, you can view everything. You can see which news events are occurring. You can see when those news events are going to occur. You understand? You can see which trends, which market is trending. Okay, you don't need to go time frame by time frame. You can literally do this, and you can see bull market over there, but bearish there. Okay, strong buy. So now you can get in on this buy on gold. Boom, you're catching it. You're riding the wave. You can see that is the main target, because there's the resistance. Okay, so you can catch it. You can catch those trades. Okay, that's what I wanted to show you guys. Even the small movements, it tells you that these movements are happening on the market. Okay, look at this big catch over here. Look at this big catch over here. You understand? That is the beauty of trading with these indicators. Okay, it will allow you guys to get more profits. So that's why I've developed it. So yeah, if you're interested, click the link in the description, and I will be releasing more tutorials that will be explaining these indicators, okay, one by one, individually. We did a video on the bull and bear volume. These lines over here, these extended lines, it's actually a update which I did last night. So I'm going to update the code as well on the platform on MQL5 as well, just so that you guys can also have access to it. But I mean, you can buy the indicator, it will automatically update to the latest version once it does get uploaded. So I am going to be spending time updating maybe a couple of them. Okay, I don't want to focus on new indicators just yet. I want to see if there's any additions that I can maybe add to these indicators. But I mean, as is, it is telling you of the opportunities on the market. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, so that you guys, not so that I don't really need the YouTube support. Like and subscribe so that you don't miss out on any updates that might be coming out, because if I make any announcements, it's going to be on YouTube first. So you guys will not miss out on anything if you are subscribed. So I'll leave the link in the description for the indicators. But until next time, cheers, and I'll see you in the next one.